Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I am in the breakthrough process. And today we are in our second revolution, evolution, breakdown, breakthrough day of Sun in Aries. And as Pluto and the South Node and Saturn all come a little bit closer to each other, we're feeling the weight of these wings. It's funny because that's a album by a Scorpio, but that's kind of the energy that I feel with this, the weight of these wings. We are in the breakthrough process, but it may feel a little heavy. There may be some breakdown. I saw an astrologer that I follow on Facebook, Mark Husson. He posted a chart, and he posted the South Node with Pluto and Saturn, and he says the South Node is the fan, and Saturn and Pluto are the shiz. So, you know, the fan is hitting the shiz. This is very intense. Now, what I keep telling you is where we need to be very aware. What patterns, what old patternings are you falling back into? What old patternings that have kept you in cycle after cycle are you moving into? And how are you being asked to pull out of this cycle at this time? Now, one thing that we can do is really pay attention to your choices. Pay attention to the decisions that you have to make. Whether you make them based on logic, or this is how my heart feels, or this is what my soul's telling me, or this is how society wants me to go, or my parents want me to do this, or my partner wants me to do this. Regardless of all that, how have your choices left you feeling? Do you feel light after you've made a choice? Do you feel heavy after you made a choice? Do you feel relief? Do you feel regret? Are you angry and frustrated? Are you joyful and hopeful? Tune into these feelings because they will probably tell you, in part, if you are falling into these old cycles. One big thing, do you feel empowered? Do you feel empowered with yourself? That's the highest lesson of Pluto, is that empowerment. We have to be aware of victimization. If you are feeling victim at all, you're not making your highest choice. You are not taking your highest responsibility. That's that Saturn piece, that responsibility energy. So where can you step up in your personal responsibility? Any breakdown that's coming for you at this time is helping you release these old cycles. One of the best things that you can do is utilize that energy of the North Node. Tend to yourself, be soft with yourself, nurture yourself, allow the feelings to move through you without judgment for what the feelings are, because they're telling you, they're helping guide you through this process. So there's that. And then we have the moon. The moon is in Pisces, and the moon in Pisces is feeding into this energy as well. The moon in Pisces is connecting into Pluto and the South Node at 23 degrees. It's actually trining the North Node. So we'll have the moon in Pisces trine the North Node, listening to your feelings, listening to your intuition, moving with the flow. And sextiling Pluto. So the moon in Pisces, you listening to your intuition, it will help you empower yourself through this. But just be aware. Now I want to tell you, the South Node Pluto conjunction reaches its peak this Thursday, which is right before the new moon. We have the new moon on Friday. So with that in mind, we are also in the dark of the moon. The dark of the moon loves to bring stuff up. This is perfect timing though. Like, bring it up so we can change this, so we can shut that old pattern down and begin something new. I love this new moon because it's sun and new moon in Aries energy. And so, you know, it's, again, kind of like a new year, a new beginning. So bring this up now to release and make that shift. So in the astro today, like I said, moon connecting to Pluto. Your intuition will help empower you if you can get beyond any of the logic or those things that are being said to you. I think getting beyond the mental blocks is going to be a big thing today. The moon in Pisces is also going to be squaring Jupiter. So square brings up resistance. Your new path may go against what you think you know. Keep your mind open because Spirit has a higher plan. you know? And so, again, listen to your breakdowns. Listen to what your revelation process is in all of this. And how do you come into that balance? That's a big theme for the energy with this. How can you come into balance? If you're feeling too far one way or another, that's another thing to look for with your choices. Maybe you need to amend them. Maybe the choice doesn't have to be completely different, but the choice needs to be amended. Lots of things to think about. The moon, we then have shifting into Aries. So the moon will shift into Aries 7:56 p.m. We are in the dark of the moon. So be aware of shadow Aries tendencies. Be aware of fiery temper, competitive energy. Be aware of that desire to push something through because you are so impatient with the process. I have so many cards that I keep getting, but I feel like I keep getting because it's important. First and foremost, at the top, the slowing down card. Slow and steady wins the race. It wins the waste. Slow and steady wins the race. So take it easy on yourself. You don't have to reach the finish line now because you're not meant to be at the finish line at the time. You are still meant to be at this point on the race at this time. And the race, by the way, is not with anybody else. It's just basically a race of completion, to complete, to finish the lesson. So we have that going on. In the evening, Mars is going to be connecting to Chiron. So we have Mars in Gemini, Chiron in Aries. I feel like if you slow down and if you can slow your roll, slow your mind, what you need for nurturing, the action you need for nurturing will be one of your revelations. Listen, what are your needs at this time? And one important thing to remember in the background as well, Vesta, 29 degrees, knowing your inner light. If you were a goddess or a god, how would you treat yourself? And as your goddess god self, how are you needing to be treated right now as you move through the 7 layers of hell, or whatever it feels like for you? It may not feel like that for you, but there's some level of challenge for us all. It may not be hitting your chart in a way that makes it feel unbearable at this time, but I do feel everybody's facing some level of challenge and some level of their soul asking them to step up and make a different choice, make a better choice that is aligned for them. So let's look at these other cards. Clinging to the past. It's really easy to fall into the patterns of the past choices. It's comfortable, even if it's uncomfortable, because you know it. So be very aware of it. And this is a 5 card. So be aware how your mind may manipulate your emotions into that. Again, tune into how you feel after you make these choices or as you think about something, because that will give you a nice guiding post. But speaking of slowing down, I also have the laziness card. This is like, good things are coming. We got to do the work. Part of the work is being still and allowing. So the work's happening, but take it easy on yourself. Compromise card, aka the don't compromise card. Are your choices compromising your highest soul integrity? That's something that only you can really answer by tuning in for yourself. What is your soul's highest integrity? Does this choice resonate with it? Yes or no? I don't know. And finally, once again, the Lover's card. Kiss, kiss from the universe. You know, it's like, hey, it's okay. It's gonna be all right. It's turning out okay. Spend some time loving on yourself, nurturing and loving on the positive, supportive, helpful relationships in your life, because that's probably going to be part of what helps you move through all of this as well. So that is it for today. If you would like to join my class, it is the last few days before the first class. The first class is this Friday with the new moon. Woo! Come join my Facebook group, or you can always message me if you have any questions. You can always book a reading by emailing me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Or join my Patreon group, because we are going to be doing a new moon circle for this Friday as well. So, besides that, better gets the better gets. You have the power, and you have the power. That's really important. And there is more than enough love. There's more than enough everything in the world for you. Namaste.